I never expected the quietest hallway in school to be the place where everything about me would change, where who I was would stop being something I hid and start being the reason people finally saw me. My name's Alana Reed, and I moved to Crestwood High halfway through junior year. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. My mom had just gotten promoted. We were relocating from Georgia to a small town in Oregon, and I remember thinking, just keep your head down, get through it, and go back to normal once college hits. Except normal doesn't follow you when people already have their minds made up about who you are before you say a word. I'm black. I don't straighten my hair. I don't laugh at jokes that aren't funny. And I don't apologize for being quiet, but apparently, in Crestwood, that's a problem. First day of school, I walk in wearing a jacket my dad gave me, old leather, still smells like his aftershave, and a group of girls sitting near the entrance just stare. I didn't know their names yet, but I would soon. Tiffany, Madison, Chloe, blonde, manicured, loud in the way they looked at me. It wasn't curious. It was judgmental, like I had already broken some invisible rule by breathing their air. The first week passed slow. I didn't talk much. I kept to my classes, ate lunch outside when I could, avoided drama. But by Thursday, Tiffany bumped into me hard outside the chem lab, knocked my books down, and just smirked as she said, "Oops, didn't see you there." I wasn't surprised. But what got me wasn't the bump, it was the way Madison laughed, too loud, like it was a show, and Chloe actually clapped. I remember picking up my books, walking to my next class, and trying not to let it get to me. I dealt with girls like that before. Just noise. But something about this place, it was colder. Less obvious. More calculated. I caught teachers raising eyebrows when I asked questions. One even said, "You speak so well," like it was a compliment. The worst part? Nobody said anything. Nobody stood up. It was like they were all used to this unspoken hierarchy, and I had shown up without a map. So I kept to myself. But there's something they didn't know. Something nobody knew except my mom and the folks back at my old dojo. See, I've been training in martial arts since I was 6. My dad signed me up after a kid shoved me into a tree during recess. He said, "You don't need to fight back, but you do need to know how." I earned my black belt by 13, and by 16, I was assistant instructing at the same dojo that raised me. Discipline, control, restraint. That was the code. So when Tiffany tripped me in the cafeteria the second week and my food went flying, I didn't say a word. I got up, cleaned it, walked out, and that pissed them off more than if I had thrown my tray right back at her. People started whispering, "Why doesn't she ever react? She thinks she's better than us. She's too quiet, probably hiding something." Funny thing is, I was. Every morning, before school, I'd train in our garage. Forms, breathing, stretching, just me, my playlist, and the rhythm I knew by heart. One day, Coach Delgado, our gym teacher, walked by while I was holding a handstand on the field track before class. He didn't say much, just nodded and said, "Nice form, Reed." It was the first time someone at Crestwood noticed something other than my skin. But the girls? They weren't done. Not even close. By week 3, rumors were flying. I'd been accused of cheating on a quiz I hadn't even taken yet. Someone told Mr. Lambert that I threatened Madison after class. Locker searches. Detention warnings. I stayed clean, but it was clear they were setting traps. What they didn't expect was what happened that Thursday. I was walking my little brother, Marcus, home from school. He's in 6th grade. Smart, sweet, and looks up to me more than anyone. As we passed the field behind Crestwood, I noticed 3 older kids circling him, pushing him, taunting him. One shoved his backpack to the ground. Marcus locked eyes with me, and I froze. Because everything my father taught me, everything I tried to leave behind to fit into this new, fake version of normal, it all came back in a flood. I stepped in, didn't swing, didn't shout, just stood between them and my brother. Said 6 words I hadn't said in a long time. "Back off. This is your warning." They laughed, but something in my eyes must have told them I wasn't bluffing. They backed down. I didn't touch them, but I wanted to. That night, I didn't sleep. And the next day, word had spread. Somehow Tiffany found out. That afternoon, she waited for me behind the gym with Madison and Chloe. No phones, no teachers, just them and me. She said, "So, Ninja Girl, you gonna show us some moves? Or are you just scared?" I told her once. "Walk away. This doesn't end how you think." She smirked, then swung. I didn't hit back, not the way she thought I would. I stepped aside, let her momentum carry her forward, and used her weight to guide her to the ground. It wasn't violent. It was clean, efficient. Madison lunged. I caught her wrist midair, twisted just enough to drop her to her knees, then released. Chloe froze. I stared at her, breathing steady. She turned and ran. By the time Coach Delgado and another teacher ran over, Tiffany was face down, screaming that I had attacked her. But the cameras, yeah, the school had cameras behind the gym now, showed everything. Every movement, every dodge, every restraint, and not a single punch thrown by me. They called my mom. She walked in like a hurricane with a calm voice, asking to see the footage. 24 hours later, Tiffany and Madison were suspended. I was cleared. And for the first time since I'd gotten there, people looked at me differently. Not with fear, not with pity, but like maybe, just maybe, they respected me. Zara, this quiet girl from bio class, came up to me the next day and said, "I wish I could do what you did." And I told her, "You can." Not the fight part. The part where you stop letting them define who you are. A week later, Coach Delgado asked if I'd consider starting a self-defense elective. For girls. For anyone who wanted it. I said yes. That spring, I led a class of 11. By summer, we had 37. I never wanted to be the center of attention. Still don't. But maybe being seen isn't the same as being watched. Maybe there's power in being quiet until it's time to speak. And when you finally do, speak with purpose. Stand with strength. Fight without violence, but never without conviting. So yeah, maybe the hallway wasn't where I thought my story would begin. But it's where I stopped being invisible and started being me. If you've ever felt underestimated, misjudged, or just plain disrespected for who you are, I hope this story reminds you strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, stands still, then moves only when it must. Leave a comment if you've ever had to prove yourself just to be treated fairly. Share this with someone who needs to remember what they're capable of. And if nothing else, let their version of you be the one that sticks. Write your own.